5 n'igice kimwe FM. Munyarwanda, isuku ni isoko y'ubuzima. Zirikana ko isuku ku bagize umuryango wawe ari inshingano zawe. Isuku kuri buri munyarwanda, igihugu kizira indwara. Radio Imanzi 105 n'igice kimwe FM. Ubujiji ni inzitizi ku iterambere. Buri mwana w'umunyarwanda agomba kwiga. Ubumenyi inzira y'iterambere. Radio Imanzi 105 n'igice kimwe FM.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Umuganwa. The headlines. President Paul Kagame has discharged Stephanie Niyonkuru from his position as the Deputy CEO of the Rwanda Development Board. The new UK Prime Minister Liz Truss has re-emphasized her support for the UK-Rwanda Migration and Economic Development Partnership. Kenya's President William Ruto has arrived in Ethiopia this morning on his first tour of the region since taking office. News in detail. President Paul Kagame has discharged Stephanie Niyonkuru from his position as the Deputy CEO of the Rwanda Development Board. According to a communique from the Office of the Prime Minister, Niyonkuru was discharged from his duties over repeated managerial failures. He was appointed Deputy CEO of RDB in 2019, replacing Emmanuel Hategeka, who currently serves as Rwanda's envoy to the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia and the Kingdom of Bahrain. Niyonkuru has also been serving as the board chairman of Rwanda Airports Company Limited since March 2020. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Felix Namuhoranye, received at the Rwanda National Police Headquarters the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Czech Republic, Honorable Martin Tlapa, accompanied by Martin Klepko and Kalima Jean-Malik, Ambassador and Honorary Consul of Czech Republic to Rwanda. They held discussions on how to formalize the police-to-police cooperation between the two countries. Mr. Tlapa and his delegation, who are on a working visit in Rwanda, have also met with Rwanda's state minister in charge of the East African community in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Professor Nshuti Manasseh, and discussed ways of improving bilateral cooperation in the areas of health, tourism, defense, investments, and trade. Cooperation between Rwanda and the Czech Republic have been getting stronger as the two countries continue to deepen bilateral relations and economic cooperation. Over 22,000 classrooms from nursery, primary and secondary schools have been constructed to address the problem of school congestion across the country. Claude Wihoreye, a communication specialist at the Ministry of Education, said 22,505 classrooms were constructed countrywide, depending on the needs of each district. Alexi Durangwa, parents in a public school, commended the initiative, saying children should study in a comfortable environment with no congestion, which will help greatly. Ange Noeda Karabo, a student at Group Scolaire Chimirongo, says the initiative has improved her studying experience for her and her classmates and that she is grateful for it. Young girls in Guamagana district who became pregnant during the COVID-19 lockdowns say their parents abandoned them to fend for themselves, while others say their parents mistreated them to the extent they were forced to leave home. The Guamagana district authorities have urged parents not to abandon their children when they get pregnant. According to the deputy mayor in charge of social welfare, parents should educate their children before becoming pregnant and should not mistreat or abandon them after they get pregnant. The latest report by the ministry in charge of emergency management shows that between January and September 2022, at least 100 people died as a result of various disasters, while 301 were injured. The report shows that floods killed 17 people, landslides killed 22 people, while lightning and mine disasters claimed lives of 45 and 52 respectively. Most of the injuries were caused by lightning. At least 1,033 incidences of disasters were recorded in a period of 9 months. The days caused by disasters have increased from 100 between January and September last year to 150 days in the same period this year. The Rwanda Meteorology Agency in September this year announced that from September to December 2022, there are higher chances of decrease in rains compared to the same period the previous year and before. However, it warned that there are some areas that are likely to face localized flooding, landslides, strong winds, and other extreme weather-related events in some parts of the country.
Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi.
The Rwanda Stock Exchange Market Report. The trading session recorded a total turnover of 7,119,000 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in one deal on the fixed income market and 244,800 Rwandan francs from 900 shares of Bank of Kigali traded in two deals on the equities market. The equities counters closed with Bank of Kigali at 272 Rwandan francs, Bralirwa at 170 Rwandan francs, I&M Bank at 43 Rwandan francs, Simirwa at 120 Rwandan francs, M10 Rwanda at 176 Rwandan francs, Equity Bank at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchumi Supermarket at 104 Rwandan francs, and R8 Buffalo closed the counter at 526 Rwandan francs as the market closed. The currency market review of today. Burundian franc buying price was 0.5 and the selling price was 0.51. Ugandan shilling buying price was 0.27 and the selling price was 0.27. Tanzanian shilling buying price was 0.44 and the selling price was 0.45. Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.5 and the selling price was 8.7. The euro buying price 1,024 Rwandan francs and the selling price 1,044. The British pound buying price 1,173 and the selling price 1,196. The US dollar buying price 1,032 and the selling price 1,053 Rwandan francs.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
The new United Kingdom Prime Minister Liz Truss has re-emphasized her support for the UK-Rwanda Migration and Economic Development Partnership, under which some of the migrants and asylum seekers who illegally entered the UK are to be transferred to Rwanda. Liz also suggested the expansion of the partnership with Rwanda, which implies that the UK may enter similar arrangements with different countries. As per the arrangement with Rwanda, the first flight carrying migrants and asylum seekers from the UK was supposed to set off on June 14th, but was cancelled at the last minute due to legal battles in European Court of Human Rights following an injunction that was applied for by an Iraqi national who had appealed against his transfer. Liz said that she had suggested changes in the law so that the UK takes back its migration powers from the European Court of Human Rights. Kenya's President William Ruto arrived in Ethiopia this morning on his first tour of the region since taking office. President Ruto is also to travel to Uganda and Tanzania. The agenda for the regional tour includes talks on business and political ties. On his arrival in Addis Ababa, he met Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and is also scheduled to attend the national launch of Safaricom Ethiopia. Safaricom Ethiopia is a subsidiary of Kenya's largest mobile telecom and which will be the first foreign investment in Ethiopia's telecommunications scene. Tanzania says it will step up vigilance against the importation of genetically modified crops. Some agriculture stakeholders, including consumers in Tanzania, had raised concerns that genetically modified foods might find their way into the country after its neighbor Kenya approved the farming and importation of biotechnology crops. The Agriculture Minister Hussein Bash says currently issues related to biotechnology are being widely researched so that people understand its handling and control as far as data collection and analysis are concerned. But he said such trials will only be allowed for academic purposes, which in turn would help the country and its people to have a broad understanding of genetically modified varieties, especially the benefits and impacts on the environment. The Challenge Futura Foundation in Congo-Brazzaville has just completed a 10-day training of a group of deaf people in mushroom production. It has provided them with a fungi culture firm to launch their entrepreneurial efforts and ultimately to their empowerment. The training took place at a workshop called the Scientific City of Brazzaville, where the hearing impaired were engaged in the production of mushrooms by combining wood chips, wheat bran, or corn and mycelium to obtain the product prized by the Congolese. The World Health Organization announced today the launch of a suicide prevention campaign in Africa. According to the organization, the continent is home to 6 of the 10 countries with the highest suicide rates in the world. This situation is exacerbated by the limited means of action available to treat and prevent risk factors, including mental disorders. The region has 1 psychiatrist for every 500,000 inhabitants, which is 100 times less than the World Health Organization recommendation. The prevention campaign is launched on the occasion of the World Mental Health Day on October 10th. The campaign, which will be conducted on social networks, aims to reach 10 million people in the region. It also aims to raise awareness among the general public and to mobilize the support of governments and decision makers to give more attention and funding to programs dedicated to mental health. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.